Watch my little back real fast. It's drizzling out here, man. So you know, if it's drizzling where I'm at, it's probably gonna be some type of big weather thing going on somewhere else in a little bit, in about a week or so. When I say somewhere else, I'm talking about on some type of mainland situation. Look around, ain't nobody know I'm tucking down. I can make sure I'm all good. It's raining, so nobody should be really bothered or not. And where I'm at, it's crazy too, man, because a lot of people come outside when it rains out this way. It's like, damn. Let me get this. I might got something on the camera. Let me see. All right. So yeah, people come outside in the rain, man. This is something else. And on a sunny day, they be hiding up under the trees in the bushes, making these people cut the trees down. It's like maybe they laying up under the tree to hide from the sun, get these bums from under the tree. What? I don't be hanging up. I did sometimes, and they cut the tree down. I'm like, damn, man, I wasn't trying to be up under the tree for, shade. I just standing next to the tree. We be vibing like that. Niggas, man. Niggas. So we're gonna be building about this real fast, man. Since the rain is coming down, we got some downloads coming in the drops. I know they done this. They did this all day, so they got the looking at that like, damn, what the hell? But they got the little weather thing popping off. People's here, so they can be able to go outside and enjoy the day. Where I'm at is a tropic place, in Hawaii and stuff, man. You gotta realize it's you would think that the Hawaiians, that the Caucasians are the Hawaiians or whatnot, if you didn't really know better. You gotta understand, it's just like how America is, because everybody's under the impression that America is just like all, it's just really European, or what we would call the European or Caucasian or whatnot, but it's not, it's deeper than that. Hold up, set my little whoop up real fast. Alright. Yeah, so I'm building about the FBAs, that we already know that when I say FBAs, and a lot of us, we already know that we like, niggas. Like, we been in America before the so-called slave trade. That slave trade can be debunked. There's a lot of information that's out right now that could break down that whole little slave trade. So a lot of little so-called natives that's on the land now, they hanging on. They trying to hang on tight. You got some knockers from the south and Mississippi, the true land, breaking it down. Shout out to my bros. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta give love and respect. I'm gonna do that to all my life fam that's putting in that work this season. Because most I got his hand on all us. Like, yo, man, breaking it down. First it was a few of us, and then next thing you know, boom, 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 boom. We're like, that's what we saying, that's what we doing. Putting it all together. So yeah, man. We had to deal with a lot of things spiritually and physically on the mainland. When I'm talking about, the FBAs, we had to deal with, religion. We had to deal with religion that was given to us and regurgitated some of our story that was given back to us, that was regurgitated and given back to us. We had to use these stories to gain some type of inspiration and to keep our faith under severe trauma. A trauma that, where we have dealing with a cluster B personality disorder, sociopathic people, entity that was sent on us in America. So the FBAs, we got attacked by, and I had to use FBA as a term just straight up saying Black American. We already know that the Black American is the Indian, the true Indian. It's already been proven. Even Trump said it, and I know we're like, what Trump said, isn't it? I know Trump's playing both sides. Hey, rain, what's happening? It's raining right now. So something might go down in the rest of the world, man. So y'all just gotta be prepared. It's like something new every day and shit. We got the comet, the dragon, we got all this stuff. What's going on? Say, Brian, what's happening? And Timothy, what's good? So we're talking about the FBAs. I know you're like, what the hell is FBA? We're talking about that for the supernatural hood healing TV and all that good stuff. And a lot of things that's being, you know, addressed in the world and gaslit and smear campaign about black people in America. We're setting the record straight, being that we was hearing it from another, you know, point of view, which is like a, you know, a narcissistic, sociopathic point of view from Americans. I gotta check it back out. Because everybody was under the impression, you know, it's gonna be for my bros later too, they're gonna be able to check it out. Under the impression that all black people in America came from Africa. And we're here to like, nah, we're telling you like, no, we didn't. And some of the Africans I like their channels and stuff like that, but they're kind of still sliding it in there like, my brother, when you was taken from your homeland and you was drawn all the way over there. And it's like, nah, since only a few of us came where y'all went, to y'all land, it was really brought to England, you know what I'm saying, to Europe. We had an Atlantic slave trade within our own side of the world where people from that side of the world came over to ours and traded amongst up and down as they were trying to take over our lands and do sugar plantations and, you know, a lot of different plantations that we showed. So we already know when we say foundational black Americans, it's the Americans that was already over in America that was chilling, having a whole agricultural living way of life. When I say a culture, I'm talking about we had streets, you know, already had the stop signs, already had the blocks. We didn't live in huts. We had homes, when they say like tents, at the top of our houses, we didn't live in Rome, but we had Greco-Roman style architecture, which is on our buildings. And then that's what they try to say Rome is a certain thing, but we beg to differ. We had so-called Roman columns on all our buildings. Electricity, energy. He said, and Germany had a lot of things too. That's why they went to war with Germany, because Germany was working with us. That was one state, the head of the world, where we had to get a lot of manufacturing from. Where, you know, that was like the top notch. That's why the war happened. We was trading back and forth with Germany because they were noble people. They were also faithists. They knew the all spirit as well. But then when you got, you know, false gods wanting to come in and cause like wars and take over certain lands, this is what they do. They get the mortals and get them to take over their land for certain things. The people building up their false heavenly kingdoms, all that shit happened. But in our land, in America, niggas was already there. And we already had an experience with a false god who sent emissaries to our land before. This is why it's hard for them to establish a false god or any type of religion in the land securely. Even though they'll say that it's ran by Jesus and it's not really, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a Christian's country or something. But remember, you're dealing with media, so people know how to, you know, gaslight and project. It's dealing with narcissistic personality. Now we can break it down. It's like, you know what I'm saying, sociopathic personality. This is what it is. So we know that they're going to gaslight and project all of this to the rest of the world to paint niggas in such a fashion that don't nobody respect them. And everybody turn their back against them. And even when you come onto their land as being immigrants, you'll want to side with the ones who treated the niggas the worst. And niggas ain't never did nothing to nobody. And we own that word nigga too, because we was already using it. The only reason why white folks say it, because we tell them like, yo man, y'all not niggas. That's all. And when we say niggas, niggas just mean kings. We calling each other's kings. That's all we doing. Once I said it was a time we all called each other's kings and queens. You know? So when we say like, what up my king, that's what we're saying, you know? Even if we're mad or we're happy. So anyhow, though, when we say foundational black Americans, we already know that we're Indians. We already know that we're what they would call Indians. They reclassified our name so many times that, you know, it's like it's kind of like a game at this point. And so in order for us to spiritually establish ourselves and to reestablish ourselves, we have to go into the spirit world now. This is the age of so-called cosmic, or the age of they'll say Aquarius, some of them say Aries, but it's a spiritual age blending in with the physical age now. Hey, what's happening? Kodo, I think Koda? I hope I said it right. We're just talking about, you know, black folks in America. You know, we love all the cultures in the world, we want to meet a lot of you. We haven't been outside of the land. We were prisoners of war. We weren't stolen from Africa. Some of us came from Africa and we treated them very good. They married into some of our families, but not in the vast multitude that the media has in history and the curriculum of the schools agenda had for everybody. Because when you came to America, you kind of learned, history a certain way. Some people in the world, come to find out, everybody's learning the same type of history, so it must have been the powers that were that had all that shit going together. And so it's all that shit's falling now because true stories is coming around. Now we're learning the actual cosmology of the Earth. We're not looking at it from a Copernicus model now. We're actually looking at it like, okay, this is a plane, and there's more worlds, and there's just a horizon, basically, And everything is up outside of the firmament. That's where the higher spirits go. And the lower heavens are the ones who are within the atmosphere of all the worlds. And they travel from world to world. When you transition, you just continue light. Your light lives forever. That's just what it is. So it's depending on where you want to go up or you want to go down. You want to stay on the earth plane for forever, for thousands of years, and just roam in different worlds? You can do that, I guess, But, with us, it was a little bit different. We learned how the science of graduation and, being able to cultivate our talents that we had. And this was in America. We had connection to the all spirit, and this is documented. And it's not just to make you believe that the Native Americans that you see that's over there at the point that got all recognition by the feds, basically, federally recognized. Nah, this is about us. As far as they never really got involved with a lot of things. They never did wars. I wanted to clear that up. They never went to wars like that with us. Some of them was cool, but they never really went to wars like that. When you go to certain places that the United States have conquered, like Hawaii and all that shit, they go into wars. They ain't fighting for wars for their land. You know what I'm saying? They under the belief that they're doing something good for their land. And the same thing with niggas. And even if we were taken from, Africa and shit, you know what I'm saying? It's now starting to come to an understanding that niggas are their own identity, or Black Americans or FBAs, our own identity, basically. And it's pretty much been that way. It's not that the fact that we got taken from nowhere. That's the whole lie right there in the first place. And when they came over, we got so many documents that they already seen us chilling. The copper-colored red man in America, America, different shades. Doing things like having operas and singing and shit. You can see a lot of our culture over in Europe, that we was actually messing with Europe. We was fucking with Europe. It's almost kind of like the Cain and Abel type of shit. It's kind of like this whole hatred from the so-called Brit situation stems from back then. Spiritually, too. So with FBAs, it's very important, too, man, because they know it's a spiritual game. So what they do, they try to send false prophets into the land. I'm talking about send you false history, telling you you're NOI, you're just black, because all that black stuff comes with the NOI. Remember, they was just like, that's cool to say the black man's God, and all that good stuff. The Moorish Americans weren't talking about that. That came right before the NOI. But at the same time, everybody was trying to claim Islam, and nobody wasn't agreeing on the one way on how to do the damn thing. And you had Marcus Garvey coming in trying to get you up off the land and take you to Africa. But none of that didn't work because Mossad wasn't going to allow it. You connected to the land, your genes are, So yeah, they're going to send you stuff on a spiritual level and on a physical level. Make sure you don't get economically correct and all of these different things. So breaking up with these people is the best thing you can do. And it's not that you got to break up with them and have a whole little we're breaking up. We're just going to chill for a second and, do what we do. It's like, I guess you got to force us to be in a relationship with you, We were kind of forced to be in a relationship with them anyways at a certain time. But now, only the more discipline of the FBAs will be able to, prosper at this point. Because a lot of us don't really know and understand, the science of unity. Especially when you're having sex. And I kind of want to break that down because celibacy is really the way, the truth and the light, all the way to get to the heaven, to bring the heaven down on earth. You have this temple right here that you're responsible for keeping clean and listening to the thoughts, listening to the voice of the Most High. That's pretty much what you're supposed to be doing. And letting the Most High fight the enemies, which is, your spirit game. And when you drop in your spirit, it's hard. It's hard for it to do because you gotta reach first. It's like God help those who help themselves. And once you see that you catch on a little bit, then, you know, boom, it's a tip. Yeah, I'm gonna help you out a little bit more, you know. It's more than the money, but the money's coming around though. Let me check the back real fast. We making it rain out here. Outside. So yeah, man. So that's all I wanted to touch on real fast as far as like, you know, people just, you know, they kind of know me like, man, he always talking about the FBI. I got people who just don't even, they just tuned in to me. That's it. You know what I'm saying? They just like, yeah. You know, but at the same time, yeah, I'm talking about, you know, when I say FBAs, it's just a way to put, you know, the foundation of Black Americans as being like the actual land where the land of America belonged to, where everything came from. But everybody was under this narcissistic spell that you wouldn't even be able to know. When I say it's a spiritual, it's the actual necromancy, it's spiritual at the same time. When I say spiritual, they had to send false prophets over to you. And none of them survived. Now it's been 100 years since fraud Muhammad came with the NOI. And you had Marcus Garvey, been about 100 years with them. And you had Moorish American that really didn't get too deep. They just said you just more-ish. And, you know, some of the brothers had to evolve it through dealing with, you know, the UCC Financial One statements and stuff like that. You know, and kind of give you some type of inspiration on how you can kind of file yourself at the Connie Kirker deeds of who you truly are. But we weren't really united still. Some brothers wanted to come up with their own coins, stuff like that, you know, feeling that that's the way. But we're dealing with a spiritual way now. We're dealing with the true way. We're spiritual people. We're heaven people, D. You're destined to go to heaven and to the higher heavens at that. So that means death is a part of life type shit. And we knew that. Our heavens was connected to the all spirit, and our heavens was like connected to our land, like a whole Star Trek type of situation. And it still is. And that's what they fear the most, because they know that we got extra heavens. They call niggas aliens or aliens. It's pretty much what niggas is. We got an extra little box. This is why they feel that we have that heart of gold in America. Like, people in America have a heart of gold. They knew that, and they found that out. Like, we like dragons. We be talking, the smoke be coming out. That's how we do. You know what I'm saying? It's even entertainment. We exchanging energies with one another because we know we're spiritually connected, even through the flesh, even when we're separated in our flesh. Because everything that, it seems like it's still, is actually moving. It's vibrating at different frequencies, and our emotions control those frequencies. That's why niggas like to be around niggas and shit. Some niggas don't like to be around some niggas. Some brothers don't like to be around each other. But we, for the most part, we do, because we can exchange that energy. Peace. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Mason. I appreciate you. You're awesome too. Just joining in, you know. We're not trying to promote hate or nothing like that. We're just, you know, unity shit. Unifying, the unifier. We're bringing together, you know, information as far as like spiritual downloads and, you know, adding on to what brothers got in the flesh, in the corporal, that the Most High blessed them with, as far as dealing with their philosophy and their breakdowns of history, and coming up and getting the right information to inform us, the rest of the life family. Now we're at a crucial stage now, because we actually got to really put in the work, which is, you know, putting in the celibacy work, the semen retention. If we can get whoever has the most influence on the Israelites in America, or, you know, I think it's this one brother with the dreads, forgot his name, I mean not the dreads, he got braids. He reminded me of one of my nephews. But anyways, though, he's very smart and articulate. I like that brother. He's like he's a well-respected Israelite bro, but all of them got different camps. But if everyone can just relate these words to him, to tell him, yo, just get us on this celibacy kick. Get all the men to be, you know, celibate for this year. You know, when we all do it, it strengthens each other in our spiritual bonds that we have with one another. We're not binded in a negative, in a harsh sense, but we'll be bonded together in the spiritual life, in the true body of Christ. Like your consciousness will raise your light will raise to the crown chakra. So we're connected like that, whether we're you know, physically together or not. Hold on. Pardon me, y'all. Hey, I gotta pay attention to these ones. I know they're around. But if we get that, we can jumpstart everything. When we're doing it now, the energy is shared amongst us, all of us now, who's ever doing some type of semen retention or celibacy. It's a spiritual cord. It's connected to the soul. This is what's gonna heal us, y'all, because we was molested through spirits and physical things. You know, right now we're blending in both. This is the age of the time where we're going to be known to the world that hey, niggas are Most High's people, and not just any niggas. It's the FBAs, and even the Africans are gonna acknowledge that too. I thank you. I'm gonna give the love as much as I possibly can, man. I'm giving love. You know, as when I say love, you know, it's the highest elevation of understanding. So, as long as I know, you know, which hell and which also anyone that's involved, knowing the hells to go through to come out right, that shows and proves the love that you have for oneself. You have to love yourself enough to go through hell to come out right. Because you ain't just gonna have a smooth walk. A skilled sailor can't gain that skill on calm waters. You gotta go through some rough times. And going through the right hells, boom. And that's what it is. Hey, now I appreciate it. Bless you. Love. But you know, I gotta say the name. I can see it a little bit better. I got another screen. They try to get my screen, you know what I mean? But most I didn't want me to bring that phone into this cycle. It's about to be the year of the lamb, which is the year to goat, which is my sign in the Chinese zodiac. I'm sorry, I gotta smile. They say to part. Oh man, hold on, I'm finna say this right. Hold on, man. We're gonna say this right. Say take care. Our soup. I hope I said it right. I sound like I'm over here. Take care of 4th grade reading level and shit. This nigga can't even read. Goddamn, we talking about this old heaven shit. I'm just playing with you. I appreciate you though. Thank you. So yeah, I think I was jumping back onto the heavens and the land. You know, just being connected to the All Creator. What you will find if you've been in contact with brothers from the land, from the mainland, you'll see that everybody's different, and it's like being around God in a way. You know, it's like the closest you're gonna get to being around the source, like the vibe, whether the good, the bad, the ugly. If it's a bad vibe going on, it's the worst vibe you're gonna probably feel, man. Walking through them niggas, man, because you can feel it. You know, and it's certain things. We're not really killers and murderers and things of that nature. So. Not in America. We're not responders. We don't have a pathological cluster B personality disorder. A lot of our brothers do around the world because they're not ripened in their spirit. It's not that they're evil. They're just not ripened in their spirit, and they continue to kind of communicate with their ancestors and their family when they family transition and just being like, hey, I'm just on a higher vibrational. They be like, is God there? Like, no, nigga, I just see so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, nigga. Oh, they was going on not too long ago. It's like, yeah, that's it. You know, they haven't had no contact with an Etherian at all, you know? So, now I don't fully understand what you're talking about because my English is okay, and your smile is your smile and thank you. Nah, you made me feel good. That was a real smile right there. They're all real, you know. You can feel it. It's like, ah. So, anyhow, and they try to take my smile from me, the enemy from the beginning. And then, you know, a lot of things that we've been through and we still smiling. It just shows you, man. The Most High is just revealing the heart of I gotta say, the black man and to the world. We actually are loving people, very talented. We love grooming. We love making others better. That's one thing. I know I can speak for all of us here because we all connected to God. That's why we ain't solo. We went through this hell together, nigga. Shit. So, okay, thank you. All right, so we in there. What language you speak? And where you from? You know, I'm sitting out here in the rain. This is my backdrop right there. That's what I'm looking at. At the healing pond, I go up in there. Got the light, the gookie beads, they say, Gucci beads or something. The light bearer beads. And yeah, you know, but yeah, I know, but this is, out here, it's the same type of difference going on, you know? Hey now, turkey in the house. So y'all about like 10,000 miles, how many thousand miles away? Y'all about 1,000 miles, 10,000 some miles that way. Long way though. I wonder how it is in Turkey. But you ever been to America before? Been to America. I'm from Mississippi in America, and we like to, we're serious people, but we know we're spiritual. We've been around, for a while. Oh, you'll love it. You'll love the cooking. We cook good too, boy. We even fry fish, baked fish, all the fruits and veggies. I'm talking about the South of America, the southern part of America, where the soul and heart of America, where all the music, a lot of good music was invented and created. But hip hop came out of New York, and that was a new thing. But anyhow, though, I hope you get a chance to come through, because you'll see how it is when we have a cookout. We're going to have a cookout. We're going to have a lot of things. You're going to see what we do. We do things called, in the South, where we get the horses out and everybody's riding on the trail riding. That's going to unite us even more. So that's what we on now, the trail riding. Let me move this out the way. I know it seems like my dang jaws, what you call it. So thanks a bunch for spreading positivity. Always nice listening to some other connected folks. I love that. Appreciate it. Keep up the good vibes, bro. I hope you have a blessed week. I hope you do too. Bless you. Aw. Thank you. Stay tuned. We're gonna be doing other things too, man. But just spreading this message with a cool vibe instead of just being super mad, because we can be pissed off. There's a lot of things that we can be pissed off. Me being from Mississippi, I didn't get a chance to travel around to certain places in the world. But we have we have an extra oomph about us. We care, and people are not as evolved spiritually as we are, but they are in tune. They have, you can tell they have a spirit. They have the understanding that they can understand the spiritual things, like growing food out the ground and stuff like that. I know they'd be like, well, what that got to do with anything? But we was growing food out the ground a long time ago in America, uprooting trees and growing a lot of different food, and it's on a lot of temples as well. So that's what we do. Well, oh yeah, out here I'm known as Kalani. You gotta look that up. I got names, many different names in different places depending on the vibration, Then I got a government name too at the same time. So yeah, it's those type of things. But I feel that there's chosen people around the world in all the cultures, no matter what shade you are. And that whole shade thing is kind of messed with us. Even though with our genes, black people in America, people don't really have a problem listening to us, because we're really influential. But it's not that when we brag, we're not bragging in the sense of where we have this really big eye, little you thing. Once we show how it's kind of done, we kind of want to see what people can do with it now, because we know and understand that people pick up the talent like how we do, and they'll just be like a cold rapper from another part of the world, or a break dancer that can dance a certain way, and we want to see it because we want to see the Most High's, gift. American people want to do that. Black Americans, man. We really, that's what I'm gonna tell you a few things about it. We love helping people. That's one thing we love. We care for people a lot. We care so much. And this is not to say that, we have this victim mentality right now. We really don't even want to say too much, but we care so much, we kind of gave our land away, Okay, we're back. Yeah. So we was at a certain stage in our civilization that, we was at a bronze age. We were developed. We had trains. Nobody didn't really have trains like how we did. I gotta explain that. They hid that from us. When you say the black people in your country, yeah, they're polite. Usually black people from anywhere is really polite. It's kind of like in the gene. Black people from most places are polite. That's somebody pushing the button and trying to mess up the string, but it's okay. But black people from most places, if they travel, they most likely are polite. They've been taught to be polite. They had, give props to the parents who spend some time rearing those children. I can say raising, but raising is like, you raising animals in the barn and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what we say. My mama and them say, don't say raising. You don't raise a child. You raise goats and sheep, but rearing them, yeah. And so, they did a good job, most likely. But yeah, our parents did the best that we could, our ancestors and everything, y'all. So this is why, even through the hellish and the poverty and no food and the drugs, and we still haven't turned our back on the Most High, even though they're trying to post a lot of things about the murders and things of that nature. That happens, and it's sad. And it happens in Chicago and a lot of other big cities. A lot of Most High wants a lot of individuals who are spiritually advanced and ripened, because it's not really evil and a good or evil. These are just spiritually unripened people. They leave those, or the spiritually ripened to leave those inner cities, because there's a lot of jewelry, a lot of drugs, or a lot of gin that's in those cities that just put around with familiar spirits of people who come and try to run from certain hellish things that they done probably done in their part of the world. They may not have that innocence, and the Most High picks up on it in our world, in our side of the world. We had a lot of temples, a lot of cathedrals, a lot of pyramids, all the way up from Canada down to south of Chile, South America. We were all connected, but we got divided amongst the time. But that's just how it is, man. I don't even know if she was in here. I was going to say some extra stuff, but thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. I'd have to check you out. But yeah, the foundation of Black American is the real India, and the Indians that are tuning in now. I don't be on the TikTok, but I know that they're going at it with a lot of our brothers, and they're starting to see that they are the Siberians. They don't really have hate like that. They've been around us a lot, even though some of them they use to capture a lot of our people, but they've been around us a lot that they've learned to kind of be spiritual as well, even though they turned us in and they got some casinos and stuff like that, but they realize, and they'll go peacefully as to Siberia if they got some land over there. And we're just dealing with this whole resetting thing real quick, man, because it's important for Black folks really to have money, and not be under this satanic rule that's been ruling our industries, which is our entertainment industry. Even Hollywood, that's a land of Hollywood. We love entertainment, we love theater, but they turn it into a satanic thing. Hollywood is just, it's a Hollywood, it's the stick of illusion. They turn into a bad thing. That's why it's burnt up now. Even with the little Statue of Liberty falling down in South America, it happened. That was a spiritual thing. A lot of things are spiritual now that's happening on our land. This is like what they thought wasn't going to happen is happening. Excuse me, pardon. So let me watch my back. People like to come to a wet beach because I'm out, I'm outside. I'm in the Aina, domicile. I already adapted, so I'm blessed and definitely grateful. But yeah, so yeah, a lot of things going on in the world. I know you're like, man, it's a lot of things going on in our land. People's mad at what Trump is doing. I don't think it's a mass war that's went down in South America, but people are talking from their level of understanding, But that's a different ball game, because if people kind of know what's going on, people was leaving Venezuela because there was no money there. There was no tourists coming there. Even though it had all that gold, it's supposed to be looking like Dubai there. That's how much not gold, but oil. That's how rich it is, man. So you may see a different Venezuela in the future, because Muggs is like, yo, man, this shit's supposed to be booming, man. I could put construction down here, get these niggas some jobs in Venezuela. They don't understand. Our FBAs don't understand it, and a lot of the Venezuela bros don't understand either, because nobody was like murdered unless it was like dealing with gangs of drugs and shit like that. At this point, we kind of don't really need that. We need everybody kind of focusing on their spiritual gifts. Everybody in the world now, we're at a time where everybody focus on their spiritual gifts and better themselves. Drugs and dope, getting people to be in their lower selves, that's going to be a thing of the past, man. The Chosens is going to leave the inner cities and go to the countrysides. People's going to build in their remote rural areas. And you're not gonna have threats like how we used to have. Because shit's getting clean. The atmosphere heavens is getting cleaned out. Hence, no more false prophets. Anybody talking about the Moors and shit like that, man, ain't nobody trying to listen to that no more. Because did nobody come up with getting no land at all. Did no false prophet get you no land. You're gonna have to get your own land. If you call it Moor if you want to, but no false prophet got no land for us. I guess it was just trying to market to our knowledge that we didn't know better or some shit about shit. You know? Not even Brother Polites. We couldn't do none of that. None of these people, man. You know, we couldn't trust them. So now it shows you that you just got to develop your connection to the All Spirit, what you normally was supposed to do in the first place. You know, you're not a idolizer. You've never been an idolizer. Or FBAs have never been an idolizer. So, because once you become an idolizer, you're gonna definitely become a devaluer, and then you're gonna be discarding. And you already got a little bit of that just being under, you know, this rule of people who would be considered wicked, but are just unripened in spirit. And if they're ripened, I mean they're wickedly ripened, then that's who they are. Yeah, so I just wanted to add on real quick to that. And I'm about to get a hop up off here because it's a little bit cloudy. I was going to get to my little cut, you know. I just wanted to distinguish a few things between already been there and the natives that we know they don't have no, they're starting to stack grip, and they knowing that, you know, yeah, man, we're supposed to be there. They already know, but they act like they didn't. They could have gave us a lot of jobs, but they didn't. The point is, none of them gave us jobs. None of them looked out for us. None of them tried. It's just maybe a handful of us. That's not enough. You know what I mean? When you realize how much money's going around and how much the people of America was put up as collateral to get this money. And everybody's benefiting off of it. The whole world's benefiting off of that money, that collateral that niggas was put up for in House Joint Resolution if they came to America. Really the whole world and to a degree. So it gets a little deep, man. It gets a little deep. But we're at a point where, you know, we're not playing with the narcissistic games of anybody trying to devalue us anymore. We're not really trying to get triggered. If you talk about it, you just talk about it. So you ain't got shit else to do, I guess. Everybody ain't got nothing else to do but talk about a brother who are, you know, basically, you could say they're finding themselves, but we're not finding ourselves to Africa. We're actually going to link our connections to Africa to be like, yo, what's up, bro? But we don't come from you. You never. If we did, you would have been ready you to welcome us back, and you would have gave us land already made for us. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to do that, and that's not it. We showed the Europeans how to bury their. I'm talking about the black Europeans, the Brits, the real Brits. We showed them, and our African brothers and sisters. We went through there already. But we're gonna bring them up because the European bros is keeping them down a little bit over there. It's always something about them. They just gotta come right down to Africa, get their resources, go back up. Same thing almost like with America and South America, but we were actually joined together. Being the central was right there in Mexico. You know? But for some reason, black folks is not really allowed freely to travel through Mexico right now. You know, I mean, it's a spiritual travel ban. You know what's up. So we just got to sit back, man. It's a difference, though. We don't lead none of the false prophets. Just get in tune with the Most High. Celibacy is the way. Every month, your light raises up. This is a beautiful thing. And then you attract your mate, which is a very beautiful person. You know, they're going to feel you mentally, spiritually, and physically, no matter what it is, if they're connected to the All Spirit or true faithers. Because now the seed has been around the world, so it's around now, though. So, with that being said, I love you, and thanks for tuning in, and I'll be with you in the next one. Uh-oh. I think I ain't what you call it. Uh-oh. Let me see what I say. Hold up. Do that. Oh, no. Okay, cool. Love y'all. Peace.